Concern obviously being going into that clash against Chelsea, if you think back to what happened last season, and indeed just what happened on Sunday, Sid, is that midfield looked old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a contradiction, isn't there? That after the PSG game, we talked about how much we love watching Luka Modric play and how good a player he is. But of course, if you strip away, and it's not easy to do, and maybe it's not entirely fair to do it, but if you strip away the emotion and the excitement of that last half an hour and how well Real Madrid played, you're left with a two-legged tie, during which 3/4 of that two-legged tie, Paris Saint-Germain were not just a better team, but also controlled midfield. So if you really do want to pick out an outstanding midfielder across the two ties, maybe you go for Verratti rather than from Modric or Kroos or Casemiro. And yes, it's true they have their moments, and of course that can sometimes be enough to carry you quite a long way in the Champions League, because if you're a team that's capable of staying in the game and then being decisive when it really, really matters, that's fine. But you're right, there is that question mark. And I think there's another question which I think is very interesting. Earlier in the season, Ancelotti was very happy to openly say, yeah, we play on the counter-attack. Yeah, we play with a deep team and we try to release Vinicius. And when you've got someone as quick as Vinicius, why wouldn't you? After that Paris Saint-Germain game of them playing so deep, which by the way I don't think was purely about choice, I think it was about being pushed back by PSG, there was this kind of current of opinion in Spain that sort of says, well, Real Madrid really have to play higher up the pitch. They really have to press a bit more. And Ancelotti actually embraced this publicly. He said, yeah, we're going to try and play higher. We're going to try and push the team closer to the opposition, get more into the opposition's half. But of course, as soon as you do that, you change the structure and the nature of every game, and you make it particularly different for that midfield three. Now, I would actually argue more of a problem for Toni Kroos than it is for Luka Modric, even though Kroos is younger than Modric. But I do think that's a question mark. And then, of course, you start asking, at what point does Valverde or Camavinga come into the side to give you that energy? Because one of the things I think that was overlooked about the PSG game, at least in terms of the analysis, was perhaps the significance of a slightly more dynamic midfield in terms of that comeback, quite apart from, obviously, Donnarumma's mistake and so on.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and of course, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.